Welcome, dear friends, to Imagination Station, the show which makes you feel like a bird soaring in the sky where no trouble can reach you.
Dive into amazing tales with us.
Learn more and more about things you didn't know before.
Imagination can take you to great heights. In fact, heights which you cannot even imagine, which is pretty ironic.
The show where you are like riding a spaceship. You're gonna buckle up and visit not different planets, but different stories and learn something useful that's gonna help you in your life. And today, the title of story is 3 Lessons, $3.
Okay, 3 lessons, $3. So 1 lesson per dollar.
Could be.
Hey, now lessons cost dollars?
I have no idea.
Or maybe he gives $1 to somebody and he knows that it's not somebody, he gives like that.
I think we should
$3.
find out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our hero for today, Chris, is gonna tell us, is it like $1 per lesson or is it a lesson per dollar? Let's find out. So our hero for today, Chris' story started in the States. Chris, he was a student at the university and he always wanted to be his best version in life. He knew one key to be a successful person is to be independent. Do you think independent is something easy to acquire or is it something hard?
So it actually depends on how you're dependent on someone. Like if you're forced into being dependent, then it's really hard to become independent. But then if you have to be dependent, like when you're young, you're dependent on your parents, then with help from your parents itself, you can become independent.
It kind of depends on the person as well. So if the person really wants to become independent, it's kind of easy, but then you need support from everyone.
Yeah.
Or else you just end up being dependent on others. Also, the best thing about being independent is that you can do things your own way. You don't have to always depend, you don't have to do things the way others wish to.
Yes,
I
and rely
agree.
on other people, right?
When you get your pocket money, you should put it in one place, and then when you want something, you get it out and then pay for it with your own money.
Guys, please do not be like me. I tell my mom every day at lunch to make me air fryer chicken.
Yeah, that's
They are
not
being
good.
dependent.
Yeah, you're being dependent.
You
So
should
you
learn
learn
how
on
to
your own
work
how to
the
make your
air
air
fryer.
fried chicken. You can be independent.
Yeah.
I know how to work it, but my mom just won't let me. She said it's not safe.
Maybe she's letting you like doing other stuff, right? Independently.
Yeah.
And that's why Chris, his parents, when he was young, they were trying to make him independent by making him like clean his dishes, right? And also like wash his room, clean his room, and do everything by himself. Even like his clothes. He's gonna take the clothes to the laundry and do it by himself. So he grew up being an independent person. And that's kind of really served him when he studied abroad. And one day, his salary, the money that he get from his scholarship, kind of ran out. He didn't have like a good management. So he couldn't spend his money in something that could invest in return. So during that time, he didn't have anything to buy so he can eat. So he just bought some cookies, okay, and some water so he can fill his hunger. And one day, when his mom was calling to check on him, a voice went up like the sound of his stomach. He was very hungry. And then his mom was calling him like, hey, is everything well for you? Is everything good with you? He told her, yes, mom. He's trying to be independent, yes. She told him, do you need any money? Do you need any help, any support? He told her, no, I have everything. And I just have eaten my food. And his stomach went again. Crazier than before. After he hung up the phone with his mom, he started to look for some solution. Then he found out there are some video games on the side. He thought like, hey, how about taking the video games and then sell them to the game store? He took that, he went to the gaming store.
Business oriented.
Yeah.
And he tried like to get some money from that. And when he sold it to the store, he just gave him like a couple dollars. It was like enough even to buy like a piece of bread, you know? So he tried to get like a piece of bread and some drink just for one meal. Then he felt like it's not gonna be a suitable solution. He needed to find a job. During the game store, after he finished from the gaming store, he saw there was a restaurant next to him. And in that restaurant, they were having a sign that said, we are hiring. He got enthusiastic again. And he was like, okay, this is my time now. I'm gonna take this opportunity. And before he entered and take the opportunity, I want someone of you to take the opportunity to see what the question that we
I'll
have
take
inside.
it. Okay.
Okay, Rima.
Ria.
Ria.
How can you become an independent person? Well, let me see. We can become an independent person by first doing the smaller things by ourselves, then slowly making it bigger and bigger until we can finally do all our things ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes you may fall into trouble, but you just have to face those troubles on your own. If you go depending on someone, then you'll always go running towards them again. But if you deal with that trouble once, then you are already prepared to deal with the same thing again. So you keep becoming independent. The more trouble you deal with on your own, the more independent you become.
You know, because not everybody's gonna stay for you. Not friends, not family. You're gonna be like sometimes gonna come. You're gonna be in your own, just like what Chris was facing.
Exactly.
So, what about you, Hassan?
So just when you're 15, you're gonna want to find a job that you can work when you're like 17 years old. You might be asking me, why at 15 and why not at 17, Hassan?
Or why not at 13?
Yeah.
13 is a bit.
Too young.
You
So
need
maybe
to
he
be.
tried to build his experience, right? Earlier age.
Yeah,
Very nice.
he needs to study the job and know what he needs to do. So basically, if you want to be a waiter at a restaurant, just tell him I can bring a lot to the table. That's it. Just get like,
Okay, take a book, keep hundreds of books and keep 2 bottles on it, and then balance another book and then carry it with one hand and see if you can do it.
Demonstrating
keep-
your ability.
Yeah, keep practicing
Yeah.
until you go there and they're like, oh, you
Wow.
should join the circus, definitely.
oh, well, I would have like 50 bottles broken on the ground.
Yeah, but then the 51st bottle will not be broken if you if 50 of them
If you
break.
practice enough.
Yes.
But gladly, Chris didn't have like that kind of requirement. When he entered the restaurant, they told him we want a driver who can drive or take the orders and then drop it to the customers.
Also, just like order the food to the customers.
Yeah.
Yes, he's gonna take the food and then drop it to the customers. So he gladly accepted the job. And they told him, we're not gonna give you a payment. Your payment will be the tips that you're gonna get. And it was kind of challenging, you know? As soon as he heard that,
Tips?
yes, as soon as he heard that, his stomach went again.
Oh.
It was kind of mad. So he took the job, and then as soon as they called him, he rushed away to the restaurant, took the food, and then dropped it to the first customer. He took it to the first customer, knock on the door, they open, they look at Chris, they took the food, they give him the money, and they give him the change, but they didn't give him any tip.
Oh.
I
So
don't
Chris
think
was kind of
so.
broken.
There's
you know?
one thing Chris didn't do. He could have thanked outside of the box. Just take whatever inside the box and just take it home and eat it.
That'd be stealing.
That could be a solution, but temporary solution, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
Who will
just,
know?
it's just a short-term solution.
Short-term
Yeah.
solution. So after the first customer, he went to the second customer. When he entered there, he knocked on the door enthusiastically with positive vibes. They took the food, they give him money, but there was no tip again.
Uh-oh.
He was
I
kind of
think-
sad this
I
time.
think it's already told, oh no, you will not give tips to anyone.
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe it's a rule.
Or he could have just asked the customer,
Tip.
give me tip or you're not getting your food.
Hassan is way too logical sometimes. Like, just
Yeah.
open. You either do it or else I do it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to be logical, you're sitting on a chair.
I beg your pardon.
Exactly.
So Chris kept continuing, and then he reached the third customer. He knocked the door, give the food. This time he tried to have a smile, you know. This time he tried to say something positive, a compliment to the customer.
Wait,
And yet,
3 times the charm, so he might have got a tip.
could be, right? The 3 is the charming number.
Yeah.
But this time, not even 1 cent. He got also frustrated again. And his stomach went.
I think that's a cat, not a stomach.
Grumbling.
But he
Stomach.
always kept telling himself, if the 5th door didn't open, the 6th door will open.
Or
You
maybe
mean
the 7th.
Fourth.
Or maybe the 7th, or
Depends
the 10th, or
which
the
door.
11th, right?
Yeah.
Or
You
the
don't know.
100.
You
Who
just
knows?
need to
Or
keep
the
trying.
1,000.
This time, Chris went to the 4th door. He knocked on the door to the customer. The customer showed up, and he was very happy. He was having a graduation party for his daughter. And because he was so very happy, taking the pizza from Chris, he gave him $3 as a
Wow.
tip. And Chris was so happy with $3, even though it wasn't like much,
Yeah.
but he happy that at the end there was something out of nothing.
Yes.
So Chris returned to the restaurant and he was very happy, even though he got $3. He gave all the money that he collected to the owner. And do you know what the owner made for Chris?
What?
What?
He made something special.
A greeting card?
Hopefully.
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Exactly. It was like an Asian restaurant. So they made a huge spaghetti for him with some beans and with some meat. And it was like a big, delicious
He must
meal.
have been so happy.
I know.
Yes. His stomach finally was happy, you know?
Well, he
Not only
deserves.
Chris.
His stomach's
Didn't
agreeing.
Didn't
Okay,
it
good
drown
job,
in
Chris.
happiness?
So do you know what are the 3 lessons that left in the story?
Keep
So we
trying.
know the $3.
Every little bit helps.
Keep trying.
Every
Don't give
small
up.
bit helps.
Every little bit helps.
And
Don't give
always
up.
be hardworking.
Don't give up and be a hard working. That
There's
was the 3
always
lessons.
the next door.
Yeah.
Exactly. So dear viewers, if the first door didn't open, don't lose hope. If the second door didn't open, don't give up. The third door will definitely open. Until next time, stay tuned.
Ah, summer. A time for fun in the sun. With so many options available, how do you choose the right sunscreen? There are 3 things to keep in mind: SPF, ingredients, and application. Let's start with SPF. Make sure to opt for at least 15, which blocks 93% of UVB rays. SPF 30 blocks 97%, and 50 blocks 98%. Next, ingredients. If you're concerned about irritants, look for mineral-based formulas with zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. And don't worry if they go on a little bit thick. Lastly, application. Sprays can be convenient to put on, but make sure you're applying a thick enough layer for full protection. Most people don't.
Hello, dear viewers, and welcome back. This is a very special segment today because we have a very, very special guest with us. She's a dietitian, and I think I should let her introduce the rest.
I'm Hadina Mtawa. I'm a clinical dietitian specialized in eating disorders, and it's my pleasure to be today with ages, like range of ages. She's 15 years old and she's 10 years old, so it's very special for me because I'm gonna get their questions from their perspectives, and I don't even know the questions, so go ahead and I'll be surprised and I'll give you all the answers you're looking for.
Okay, so I have this one question because, right now it's Ramadan, and I don't know whether it's a tradition or whether there's something else behind it, but then people tend to break their fast using dates. So I know that it's a tradition because Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he used to do that. He used to follow this. But is there any scientific reason behind that?
So as you said, it is a tradition, people break their fast with 3 dates as a tradition, following all their days and everything. But recently, there's a lot of studies that discovered that breaking your fast with dates, which is high in sugar, spikes your glucose quickly and then drops your glucose quickly. So it happens like a glucose spike and a glucose crash. So I recently recommended to not break your fast with 3 dates for people who have diabetes, because people with diabetes who fast want to have a stable glucose level throughout the entire day. They don't want spikes or they don't want low blood glucose levels. So for diabetes, we recommend not to break your fast with 3 dates, to better break it with high fiber, vegetable intakes, protein, good fats, complex carbs, and then after all of this, you can have your dates, you can have your sugar, you can have your glucose, but not to break your fast on glucose, because on an empty stomach, imagine it's like an empty stomach is like this.
Yeah.
So the first thing you put on an empty stomach is going to be the most sensitive too. But if your stomach wasn't empty, it had some fiber in it, it had some protein in it, it had some carbs in it, it's going to be packed with things. So the first thing that comes in it won't affect as much your blood glucose levels and your entire hormones and how your body digests things. So I always recommend for people with diabetes and for people who have sensitivity to blood glucose levels, like hypos and hyperglycemia, to break their fast with fiber protein, in this order exactly, fiber, protein, then they can have their vegetable intake, then they can have their carbs, which I recommend with complex carbs, and I'll explain later what complex carbs is, and then they can end it with simple carbs, dates, sugar, sweets, things they enjoy and love.
Oh, okay. I think that answered a lot more than my question. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, you know, as you said, it's Ramadan right now. And you know, there's after iftar some sweets and yummy snacks. And even in iftar, we eat some, you know, a lot of like meat and protein, all of this. So how can we balance in Ramadan what we eat?
Okay, so in Ramadan, the way you can balance what you eat is you have to cheat your hormones. So we have hormones, satiety and hunger hormones. Satiety hormones are things that make you fuller, make you feel full. Hunger hormones are things that make you feel hungry. So all day when you're fasting, you're feeling hungry. So you need to cheat your satiety hormones. How do you do that? How do you manage to do that? So when you break your fast in the order that I explained to her, it's like you're cheating your hormones. You're giving your body full fiber, full vegetable intake, full protein, good complex carbs. All of these types of foods is gonna not cheat your hormones, it's gonna increase from your satiety hormones, which is gonna make you feel fuller for longer and actually feel full. But when you give your body sugar, easy, simple sugars like white rice, pure rice, you break your fast with, let's say, unhealthy things. You're not cheating your hormones, you're cheating your body. You're telling your body, go, feel hungry for longer, enjoy the sweets, eat more sweets, have more sweets. It's like you're telling your body, like, eat more. So if you eat in that proper order that I explained to Retaج, Rima, sorry, Retaج. Okay, so if you give your body these types of foods in that order, if you eat slower, you have to eat way slower. If you eat quickly until your satiety hormones, which make you feel full for longer, so you have leptin. Until leptin reaches to your brain signal, the initial time is 20 to 30 minutes. So by that 20 to 30 minutes after breaking your fast, if you eat quickly, until the leptin hormones, which is the satiety hormones, reaches your brain signals, it needs 30 minutes. And let's say you finish your futur, unhealthy futur in 10 minutes. In 30 minutes, your body is going to realize you're full. So within this 30 minutes, you're going to eat more until your body realizes it's full, it needs 30 minutes. So you should give it time. You should eat slower, you should eat better options in a better order, and in 30 minutes, until you finish your full nutritious meal, your body is going to realize it's full. So you're not going to end up having all the sweets after futur, all the available sweets after futur. And if you do, you might have like yummy sweets in portions, because your body is not going to be wanting to binge on it if you cheated the satiety and hunger signals and hormones.
Yeah. I noticed that you mentioned sweets in particular. So, you know, the whole point, the whole meaning of Ramadan these days are literally like sweets.
There we go.
So I mean, not technically, but then they are kind of unavoidable during Ramadan. Otherwise, we couldn't exactly call it Ramadan without sweets.
True.
So, are there any healthy sweets that you would suggest to the viewers to eat?
Okay, I love this question, because even if you ate properly, even if you felt fuller from like high fiber foods, high vegetable intake, high protein intake, good complex carbs, some people have a sweet tooth, and some people do crave sweets, and sometimes your body does need like this sweet feeling and this energy from sweets. There is not a healthy sweet, but there is healthier options, healthier nutritious sweets. Like, let's say, instead of going for pure chocolate, you can go for oatmeal with peanut butter and vanilla milk, let's say. Okay, and let's say instead of going for milkshake, you can go for a protein shake that can be sweet as well in the feeling, like protein shake that has peanut butter and honey and 1 scoop of cacao powder, protein powder, and skim milk, let's say. That's a better option than having a pure milkshake that's filled with sugar. So there's always the better alternative. Let's say instead of going for cake. You can go for dates with peanut butter or a date cake or a date pudding, you know?
Yeah.
At least you're getting the benefits from date because, you know, date is beneficial for you.
Yes.
It has good complex carbs. It has fiber. It's good for you. It gives you the sugar your body's looking for because your body does need sugar, but in proper ways and in better alternatives. Let's say instead of going for
Kunafa.
Okay, you can go for, instead of kunafa, I didn't think of that.
I don't think I'd choose anything over kunafa, though it's my favorite.
No, I'll tell you now.
Okay.
I recently did a better ingredients that I'll share with you all guys soon on my Instagram. I did like kunafa, but lower calorie version. So sometimes you can't take a healthier alternative, but you can decrease the calories you're getting from something because you know kunafa is very high in calories. So, and there's not, like you can replace the kunafa with better healthier options. Like let's say instead of the cheese in the kunafa, you can go for cottage cheese, you can go for feta cheese, which is higher in protein, you know, instead of the crumbs at the top or the, you know, the sweetener they put it, or the
cream.
The sweet sauce, what do they call the sauce? Qishta.
No, not qishta.
The sauce.
Yeah, I know it. It's the sweet sauce that they put on top.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Syrup?
Yeah, the
it's
syrup.
like syrup.
You can go for a like sugar-free syrup. That's what I did. Instead of going for the, as you said, the mozzarella cheese, you can go for feta cheese, cottage cheese. The sweet could be sugar-free. So even if it's not, let's say, a better, healthier option like oats and chia seeds and peanut butter, it can be in a way that's less in calories, in a way that gives you more protein, in a way that gives you less sugar intake. You know, like there is always this way to
There's always
enjoy.
an alternative.
Yeah, always.
You know, we just talked about cheese, right?
Yeah.
So like, you know, some people put a lot of mozzarella cheese on their food.
Me?
Yeah, there we go. So me. So like, is that healthy or is it kind of, it has a lot of calories or calories?
So sometimes mozzarella cheese can be pasteurized, or processed. So I always recommend like making sure it's fresh, number one, and then number two, having everything in portions. Like I can tell you now, chicken is very good for you, but having 10 chickens a day is not going to be good for you. Same with cheese. Cheese could be good for you because you get the dairy from it. You get, especially at your ages, at the age of developing and growing, you need this vitamin D, you need this calcium intake, and calcium is more absorbed from the cheeses with vitamin D. So you need all of this balanced intake. So if you have a cheese in a proper way, it could be good for you. But if you have it not in proper way, the processed one, and over consuming it, then it's not good for you. And an alternative for cheese could be like cottage cheese, feta cheese, which is higher in protein. But a mozzarella cheese in portions is also good for you, but choose the better option.
Okay.
And I think we should end this episode now. I loved your questions, girl.
Thank you.
Girls, like amazing questions, honestly. I'm surprised by how good the questions are.
Thank you.
But we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Hello, and welcome back. I'm looking at my watch, and do you know what time it is? It is a discussion time. Are you guys ready?
Wait.
Yes.
It doesn't show me that it's discussion time.
You're not wearing a watch.
I don't have a watch.
I think your watch is
You have a
invisible.
watch.
Oh, it is
Well.
discussion time.
Discussion time. Let's go.
Well, we're gonna have some magical questions or magical spells. I have to say.
Wait, it's my turn today.
Okay, let's see. It's gonna come out.
I'm so
The
excited.
magic bag.
So what magic are you gonna bring out?
I
Let's
will take
see.
that one.
Ooh.
Brilliant.
Wait,
Yeah.
yes.
That looks like a long magic. Okay.
A and I.
And
Good or bad?
Mhm.
How is AI, artificial intelligence, helping the world? And what should we be careful about?
Okay.
Mm.
who wants to go first?
There you go. I don't know.
I can go.
Okay.
Well, AI, it's one of the main things nowadays. We use it for searching up things. We can find almost anything on it, and in fact, through some of the AI chatbots, we can even generate the pictures. So actually, AI should be pretty helpful, but sometimes we have to be careful about the misinformation it gives. Like I read in the newspaper recently that one of the chatbots, like for a long time, one whole day,
For
it was-
14 hours.
yeah, it was spewing some random gibberish.
Yeah,
Like
I've heard
some
of that.
nonsense. It was just giving
Okay.
random stuff out that weren't even related to the searches. So we should be extremely careful of the misinformations, but at the same time, they can also be really, really helpful.
Our friend Ria shares something important, a keyword, generate. AI can help us generate new ideas, can help us generate a new path, generate new dreams maybe, right?
Yes.
Or some goals to achieve. So what's something that AI can help you generate?
Well, AI can help us, as Ria said, that we can search and get information. But one thing that we're noticing, that people are not using their minds anymore. They make anything, let's say I ask you a question, you just go on AI and ask the question for AI and he's gonna give you the answer. So that is clearly not good, because we have the minds to think. Let's say you're in school and you have a math problem. Are you gonna take out your phone and use it? No, because you're not allowed to use your phone in school.
Rtaj, you mentioned solving some homework math problem in specific to using AI. Okay, now I generally don't do this, but then I was really bored and then I had this really easy math problem. I took it and I went and I fed it into a chatbot. Okay?
What did it do?
It gave me like such an awesome solution that I didn't even think about it.
Okay.
But guess what? The answer was wrong. The answer was just plain wrong. Why? Because humans are feeding. So sometimes it just doesn't know. So whatever it thinks is, it just gives us. So we cannot plainly believe AI. Because sometimes you ask it, okay, give me the latest information in the world. Do you know that you have to keep updating the system? Because whatever we tell AI, only it can tell us.
Yeah.
It does not have a brain, does it?
So you're saying like it cannot do
Yeah.
something more?
It
Something outside the box maybe?
cannot do something outside the box,
Okay.
and also it cannot give us very updated information, because I remember when the World Cup was taking place, the Qatar World Cup, I typed into it where's a new World Cup taking place, and then it told me that the new World Cup was taking place, I forgot where it was held, in 2018. You know,
So
2 or 3 years before it told me the answer.
Yeah.
So it was told,
not precise maybe?
it's not updated sometimes.
Okay.
It depends. So as I told, give me a math problem now. Now that was like a 6th grade question. It couldn't solve that.
Like 2
Yeah.
plus 2? That's a kindergarten question.
Now that what? No, but
Like 6 times.
yeah. So it gives us wrong. So you cannot just plainly believe whatever it gives us. You gotta check, but you can use it obviously because it's really useful, saves time, gives us great ideas, but you gotta be careful.
Yeah.
what about you, Hassan? What do you think?
Well, what I think about AI, is it good or bad? Well, I think that AI is kind of bad, because if you think about it, AI is going to take over our jobs in the future, because who needs humans? Like, why would you work at a restaurant when AI can do it much better than you can?
But I
But
think
they
for you, as like when you become like someone who's gonna cook in the restaurant, you're gonna have your special taste, your special maybe energy to the food, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
AI
wait, you are right, because the food that AI makes will taste like metal.
metal. Yeah.
What?
Okay. Okay. Like AI, it just makes the food that we have already taught it to make. So just imagine that it cannot create anything new. So if you want something new, you gotta have
It
humans.
goes by
for
the
it.
recipe.
Exactly, it goes by recipe. So you gotta have humans.
So I think like for you, my dear viewers, if you don't want your AI to take your job, you need to develop yourself on daily basis. Learn something new so AI doesn't take your place, right?
Yeah.
Wait a second, viewers, why are you staying here on your couch and watching TV instead of going out and practicing?
Guys, you know, when you do a math problem by using your brain, you also have to check it. See if you're right or wrong.
That's
Yeah,
obvious.
But
That's a good point.
But that's actually why we have the other ways. It's like if you add 2 things, then you can always check if the answer is correct by subtracting one number from your actual answer.
In my opinion, I think AI is here to help us save time so we can get our brain on the most important task. Don't you think
Yeah.
so?
And
Yes.
also help us waste money.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, because right now we are on the verge of an AI revolution.
Yes.
But then the question still stays, have you considered all its implications? But then, you know, all the new things in this world have posed similar questions. The fire, will it destroy the world? Will it end the world? The fire. then the printing press,
Yes.
for the newspaper, the internet. Just imagine the
Yeah.
internet. You tell, I can send things from here to there. They can think it'll just stop the world. So we developed, and we're still living. It's perfect, and it's actually helping us. So instead of stopping AI from developing, we develop better, and then so we can use it. Obviously, like we adapted to all the new changes.
Very nice.
It's
So
sort
the
of-
discussion about AI could be never ending. So what do you think, our dear viewers? Is AI has more positive or more negative outcomes? Until next time, use AI in a creative and imaginative way.